Tin Hut. Hi guys, General Splatton here. Today I want to talk to you about brushes, no particular brush specifically, but natural hair versus synthetic hair. Now you've heard me and so many others talking about, get you a great set of brushes like this Da Vinci here, the top of the line, Series 7 from Winsor Newton. They're going to do the best and perform the best. But, I've said enough about those. Let's talk about something else. Now I've got here a Army Painter brush. I'm not picking on them. They're a great company and I like their products. I just got this one because this is a very big brush and it proves my point, literally. The drawback with synthetic brushes, yes, they last a long time and very durable, but the drawback with them is, you see that right there? You get the brush tip lean. It bends over, in other words, after usage. For me, not very long. I found that I think the reason for that is not turning the brush and painting in a different direction so the bristles go back the other way. But I have a tendency to sit there and just paint in one direction like that and not twist my brush and go back the other way. But I think the main reason is as you're painting, the paint is drying on the tip, and as you keep going in that direction, in the drying paint bends that tip with the force of the stroke. So I think that's the real reason. So if you're using synthetic brushes, you got to wash them out very, very frequently, about every minute or two, so that paint doesn't start drying and have time to bend that tip. So you got to wash them out very, very often to help combat that and prevent it. But what I really want to show you today are these brushes right here. These I bought off eBay. I got all 6 of them for $10 including shipping, or around there. But what I want to, speaking of natural hair, there's one. What I want to tell you about these is that I've been conducting this experiment for about a year now, and it's part of my routine, and I popped in my head I need to share this with y'all. These are my base coats, period. I don't use any other brush for base coating but these. These are Grumbacher. This is a size 1. Look at there, a camel hair brush. They're soft. I got 6 of them. I've used 2 of them. I don't even know why I used the second one. I could still could be on this first one. But the hair is soft. It retains its shape. I don't worry about tips because I'm a painter that likes to lay the brush down and paint from the side, as opposed to a painter that uses a tip excuse me, most of the time. So for brush coating, these are wonderful. They produce an excellent smooth stroke. You can load them up with a lot of paint, and you don't have to worry about messing up your great expensive brushes. I still use my my expensive brushes for doing layers and doing blending and doing fine detail and whatnot, because I need that tip. But for base coating, I don't need a tip because of my painting style. So these work tremendously for me. There's many kinds of natural hair out there. There's this camel hair, there's hog bristle, there's mongoose, there's sable, and even in all of these different types of hair, there's many different types of, say, sable, for instance. There's squirrel hair, many different types of squirrels hair brush. Excuse me. So for a little amount of money, you can get something that's as cheap as a synthetic brush that's going to last you a longer time, because I've been painting with this brush for a year and it's doing great for me. So if you don't want to spend 8, 10, 12 bucks, $6 on a brush, get on eBay where I got these, or your local art supply store. I buy a lot of my stuff from my BLITs as well. You can find some good alternatives at some very, very inexpensive prices that you won't have to throw away after a month or 2 of work. They're going to last you a long, long time, but you don't have a lot of money in them. So like I said, these are my base coat brushes, period. This is all I use for base coating, and they work tremendously. Great product for me. I'm so glad I found them at a very, very inexpensive price. Now to kind of support my ramble about brushes, I've got a BLIT Catalog here. This is Let me get it in there. So plug them. If you, they got great prices, but they talk about natural hair right here, and let me see if I can get it down so you can actually read it. I think my light's too bright. Let me turn it off while I read it. There we go. It says, for natural hair, natural or animal hair is a byproduct of the food and fur industries. No animals are destroyed for the purpose of brush making. It has superior paint holding ability because of tiny and microscopic scales along the shaft of the hair. Price and performance of a natural hair brush is determined by the grade of animal it was taken from and the availability of its hair. Shorter length hair is more readily available, making the longer lengths more expensive. Natural hair may be used alone, referred to as pure, or blended with other hairs or synthetic filaments to achieve a combination of performance and price. Some of the advantages of using natural hair brushes are: number one, the scaling of the natural hair holds more paint and releases it in a more consistent manner. Sable hair performs extremely well because of its ability to return to its original shape after a brush stroke, making it ideal for watercolor and for creating fine, smooth details in oils. Hog bristles has the same benefits of natural scaling for paint loading, with a delivery that mimics sable, with a stiffer feel and texture. It is one of the most durable natural hairs. So, I recommend that you look for these other hair alternatives besides sable. You can get them at a lot cheaper prices. They're going to last you longer, I believe, and they're going to perform excellently for you. So if you have any questions about that or have any findings of your own, please let me know, and I look forward to hearing your comments. This is General Splatton. I'll talk again. Dismissed.